Hello and welcome. My name is Henning Pauli. Welcome to another rant. I'm not really ranting. I'm just letting you know on something that you might not be aware of, and a topic that I pretty much stayed out of as much as I could, which is the mimicking on Instagram, YouTube, and all the Giacomo Tura kind of stuff. Okay, so very nice guitars. You know by now, if you've seen these rants, a bunch of them, about 10, are sponsored by Very Nice Guitars from Poland. They have very nice guitars. Go to veryniceguitars.com. They buy and sell used gear in the higher end range. I mean, they don't have any of these because they're not on the market yet, but something like this. This is an Infinia guitar. Maybe at some point they will have these. You know, high end, modern, super nice metal monsters. 6, 7, 8, 9 strings. They don't really have necessarily the strats and the tallies. Sometimes they do, but they have very exclusive guitars where it's very likely that each one is a pretty unique instrument. So if you're into this kind of stuff and you want to get a really cool high-end guitar for a deal, go to Very Nice Guitars, and thank you for sponsoring this video. So, mimicking. Now, it is pretty clear that some content is mimicked because it is not in any way possible to play that clearly, that precisely in real life. That content, I mean, when you look at the Giacomo Tura, clean, slappy-D, funky stuff, when you're looking at Polyphia type, I don't want to say Tim Henson, or Chicanito, when they do their reels and stuff, you are hearing almost synth-like precision. Wait, my monitor's turning off. And sometimes actually I think you might be hearing synth-supported lines, but it is clearly produced, moved around, and edited to perfection with all the tappy stuff. And there has to be, with all the tapping, there has to be a lot of compression and effects and all of that. And it is treated now, it's just an understanding of these musicians, it is treated as the editing and the moving it around is part of the art. When Steve Vai wrote a solo for a Polyphia song, they chopped it up and moved it around. And he first of all didn't get it. He's like, why in the world are they messing with what I did? When that's just how they think. That's just how, it's a different form of treating the instruments. It's a different form of the art, which is totally fine. When you then see a performance, there's two different ways to see this. Either it's a music video. Now, we all know that in a music video, it is mimicked. When I saw a video from Rant, he was a mind-blowing guitarist, and he was playing with another mind-blowing guitarist, and it was and Rant was sitting like, you know, in the ocean. There clearly isn't a cable in the guitar. This is a music video. You could clearly tell that he didn't play this in one time through in the ocean. The other guy was standing in a field. Now, obviously, these are music videos. When you saw Richie Sambora standing on a mountaintop playing the solo for, don't remember, one of those songs from Keep the Faith, I think we all knew that what we were hearing wasn't what he was playing there, right? They're music videos. And if treated as such, totally fine. But if it's moved around and compressed and if you can't actually play it like that, it becomes a bit of a problem, doesn't it? Now, there's a video now that I saw of Chicanito, who, no doubt, is a phenomenal guitar player. Phenomenal. Right? And he's sitting there doing a one-take performance, might have been the 5th take, but whatever, one performance all the way through. No edits. And people saying, oh, there's edits. No, there was a couple of different cameras. We're switching back and forth between the different cameras. Mind-blowing guitar performance, audibly, not at all what he usually puts out, where some of the tapping is so precise and so on point, and each note is so clear and separated from the next. That's just not how guitar sounds. Now, honestly, if he decides that that's what he wants his music to sound like, fully produced, and then do a music video for that, where he sits there and shows how it would look if he played it, I got zero issue with that. Of course he can't play like that to the perfection of the production in real life. And that's fine. As long as it's understood that that's what it is. A music video, not a I'm actually playing this right here, right now. With Yakamotora, he did cheat, as far as I can tell. I don't know the man, but he did record things slower and sped them up. People have done tests and they've shown on the audio that it was sped up audio. Now, that means he can't play it at that speed. That's cheating. He did move things around. He didn't really know how to actually write shit. That's why he had to copy shit from other people, which is fine. If you're using other people's licks and whatever, ask him, can I use your lick in my video? It's going to blow up big, so I'm giving you full credit, and then you're getting some love. Okay, cool, do that. Just credit whoever you're stealing from and ask him first, right? It's just common courtesy. So if you can't actually perform on the level that you're showing in the video, I mean, if you're mimicking it in the video, that's fine, and we'll tell you why. But if you can't actually perform on that level, but you pretend to, so you bend it with time stretching in the video, in the production, and you're moving things around, you're cutting it all up, and then you're saying, look, that's how I played it, but you actually have no way to actually play it like this, that's bullshit. Then that's a real problem. A real problem. Because you are lying yourself to get endorsed, you're lying yourself up the ladder to endorsements, to paid gigs, and so on, to free trips to places because you're invited as an honored guest, whatever. Bullshit, clearly. Let's talk about me. What do? I was just going to say I do the same thing. No, that's absolutely not true. I don't do the same thing. I produce music videos. So the difference here is the following. In my reviews, I have songs. And you see a lot of the parts that I played for the song, recorded, and I'm switching between the different parts and different angles of the guitar. A lot, not all of them, a lot of those angles and a lot of what you see filmed is not the actual performance that you hear. Why is this? I used to record the guitar as I filmed, and what you saw on film was actually exactly the track that was recorded. There's an issue with that. You have to play the whole song through in one take, without any mistakes, in perfection, which I can, but I'd rather dedicate my time to an individual part and make sure that sounds really good. I'd rather produce it like you would in a studio. Let's record the intro. Okay, let's record the verse. Let's record the chorus. And make sure that all takes are good. You can't really do that when you're playing it in one time through when the camera's running. You could, but if I make a mistake anywhere else, camera keeps running, I play it again. Okay, I make a mistake 3 minutes into the song. Okay, erase it all, camera keeps running, I record again. With the amount of data that I'm going through here, and I talked about OWC media, thank you, OWC, it's terabytes of stuff if I do that. So it doesn't make sense on a video production level. If I know the part, because I've just recorded it and I spent a day and a half playing all the parts, what I'll do is I record them all. There's no editing, there's no speeding up. What you hear is what you get. I record the parts like I would if I'm recording the song, because I am recording the song. And then when I'm done, I go all the way through it and learn it as one part with the transitions and everything. Then, if I'm confident enough that I can make it through so that it looks exactly like what I played and what you hear, I'll turn the camera on and only need 1 or 2 takes to get something where all the movements, I mean, obviously I'm hearing the guitar I'm playing, but I'm not recording it at that point, where all the movements are exactly parallel to what you're hearing. So I am mimicking it. What you see for the rhythm parts is mimicked. Now, for the bass, I sometimes go like, you know what, that part's easy enough. I can make it all the way through without any mistakes. Okay, camera rolls, audio rolls, and it's absolutely that take, right? So every slide and everything you see is exactly as you hear it. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you might hear a bass slide, and then when I was filming the video, I forget to do that slide. Because it was mimicked. It's a music video. It's not relevant, I think, that it's actually that performance. When I made that performance, just an hour earlier, I'm not changing things around. I'm not pretending that I can play something that I actually can't play. But sometimes getting the precision and the perfection that I want for the song requires for me to pay attention while recording the audio, and then the video performance is a different thing. Difference is for the solo stuff. A lot of times when you see any solo lines, I really don't have time to learn a solo note for note, work them out. This is for guitar reviews, right? Whether the solo is killer or not is completely irrelevant. These songs are not uploaded anywhere. They're not released. They're literally just for the video, which means I'm not dedicating 3 hours working out a solo where I know exactly every stroke, up, down, where I could replicate that solo exactly like that every time. For me, that's time spent in the wrong place, which means there's a lot of improvisation in the solos. Most of the times, completely improvised. Well, I can't mimic an improvised solo. So the solo sections will have to be filmed as they're being recorded. And that's exactly what that happens, what I said before. The camera runs, I play, shit, again, shit, again, shit, again. And then I have, 15 minutes of video when I actually only need 30 seconds. So part of what you see in my songs, not my songs, now it's, AI songs that I produce, I change a lot. We talked about it. Who knows? So some of it is the actual performance as you see it being recorded. Some of it is the performance has been recorded and I'm just playing it again for the camera, and then little things might be off. Like sometimes I might forget to play a chord here. I have it on another take. Sometimes you see the rhythm part from 3 different angles, when in reality, it was actually just two guitars being recorded. But it's nice to have a third angle for the video. Sometimes when you see clean stuff and you see some picking over strings, well, that was improvised when I recorded. And then in the video, you might see it's a music video. You're not going to go to a Mr. Big video and say, oh no, he did an upstroke when actually on the album he did a downstroke. You know what I'm talking about. So is it cheating? Absolutely not. I'm producing a music video, and the relevant parts where you would clearly see that it's not the thing that I'm playing in the video is actually played in the video, and a rhythm part that I know how to play, I might mimic on top of the already done performance. However, none of it is anything I couldn't play. None of it is sped up, slowed down, or edited in ways that I can't perform. All the performances are mine as you hear them. And there's obviously a big difference between what I do and then some people, like whether it's Polyphia, Ichikanito, band, many, obviously there's a big difference between who I just named and Giacomo Tura, because they can play like that. They're just editing it to be more precise. And when they're actually performing it, it is more guitar-like, right? It's more of a dirty guitar performance. They have the skills. Giacomo apparently didn't even have the skill. He recorded it slower and maybe in a different key he absolutely faked it to look like a better guitar player than he is. And that shit cannot fly. But when someone like Ishkanito does something that's a beautifully filmed music video, right, in a beautiful Japanese backdrop, yeah, he's clearly mimicking. That's fine. Use your ears. You know whether that's something that's actually in that precision doable on guitar or not. Him, Tim Henson, all these guys are fantastic, ridiculous guitar players. Jack Gardner. I mean, when I look at Jack Gardner, I go like, now that's not actually possible. No, he actually plays like that. That's beyond ridiculous. Now, if he performed in a video, walking around, and it's all about the visuals, yeah, I actually don't expect the guitar to be plugged in and that to be that performance. Because it's a music video. So you gotta distinguish between what is the goal. To do a music video here on top of a produced performance, where the way that it sounds in the production is the way it's intended, whether that's possible or not. Or the idea is it was faked to make the guy look like a guitar player that he isn't. That can absolutely be the case. Obviously, that's really not the case in my shit, because listen to the solos, they're often crap. And I just go like, yeah, good enough for the video. I don't really care. And you know what, just for shits and giggles, I throw in the track that I did for the Infinia guitar, and you see if you can spot where it's mimicked on top of the performance I did earlier, or where it's the real thing. I know exactly where I can see that. Let's see if you can see it. I already told you the solos are the solos, and they are actually the real performance, because I wouldn't be able to mimic that at those speeds, and also sometimes incorrect timings and notes. I think there's one or two wrong notes in there too. So enjoy this track.
Cold black, nothing that I see.
Well, thank you for watching. You can now pay attention in all the songs in my videos and see what's live performed, what's mimicked after. I don't see an issue with that because they're music videos, right? And you know I can play like that, right? I'm not faking anything. Thank you. I'll put links below. Use them for stuff. If you buy things, whatever. There's also my course and very nice guitars. Thank you. And animals at the end.